So greetings everyone. Manzezoke once more here. I just want to do a quick one. I'm actually traveling and I'm on an airport terminal. Now, the video is basically going to be about Aba, and I would make bold to say that Aba, as it is today, it's a disgrace to the Igbo-Nation and a disgrace to the inhabitants. I have no apologies for saying this. And for some time now, myself and a couple of others have been on a campaign to see that Aba becomes a city that we shall all be proud of. If many of you recall, growing up, we used to visit Aba. There was a time rails come to Aba. There was a time Aba was really the pride of the Igbo-Nation, that people could open up their mouth and say that Aba would one day become the Japan of Africa. But as things are today, it appears Aba is something else. A total disgrace. And a total disgrace to anyone that have been in government in Aba. That is starting from Ojo Zokalo, Theodore Oji, and now Okezie Ikpeazu. All of you are, or rather all of you have failed the people of Aba. Look at the pictures here. These are the things that, emanate from Aba. Now, last week, a sister of mine, Juliet Kergo, shared a picture where she was in Aba, to do something. And that picture wasn't encouraging because that picture clearly shows how that city is desolate. Now, while we blame the government, we must as well blame the citizens because absolutely there has been a failure of governance, but at the same time, the citizens themselves share in this madness. Yes, the government have failed, but that doesn't give the citizens, the infantry, to litter everywhere like mad people. Look at the whole place being littered. Nothing the citizens can even do for themselves. Why do you have to cross cross your legs and your arms and just wait for the government? At some point, you people, just accept there is total failure of government. The government does not exist. And if that is the case, because the government does not exist, then you can do something for yourselves. Okay? So when my sister Kego shared, this, and I equally retweeted it, and I also shared it. And sadly, a lot of people I might want to refer to as ERATs, people who are paid monthly stipends to go online and defend government where people know that the government is a total failure and a total catastrophe. They've come up saying, no, you guys are lying. This is not Aba. And one of the pictures, no, this is Aba Port Harcourt Road. And, and I say to that, who cares if it's Aba Port Harcourt Expressway? Who cares if it's, Obo Hill or wherever it is? But these things are within Aba, even if it's even if it's Aba Port Harcourt. But the rubbish in there was being dumped by your people in Aba. So why suddenly you want to defend that this is Aba or rather this is not Aba? So these pictures were denied. Some even called me names, but again, these things no longer, the more you call me names, the more I'm actually being emboldened to do what I do, and because I believe what I do them in good faith. I'm not doing anything because of, just that. I think because many of us, um, I would rather say have failed because we didn't speak up when it mattered. But in the last couple of years, I think about 4 years now, I've taken it personal upon myself to, say these things, and whenever wherever I can and whenever I can, I would equally take lead and have these things, corrected. So, not that they've been basically, and they've been saying, oh, you guys are lying. This is not about stop this. You are now campaigning against the governor of Abia State. And that is it. You see, the beauty of not belonging to any political party is you don't care if it's party A or party B. You say it the way you see it. If you don't like it, please go and look for the next transformer from PHCN and make sure that there is electricity and go and do the needful. Okay? If you don't like it. Now, in doing that, the same people that said that, Mazi, what you're doing, what you're saying is wrong, is not true, you don't like the governor. And I asked me a question, how can I love or hate someone I haven't met, who I don't equally have interest in meeting? The only time I've come in contact, I've gone to Abia State to see Okezie Ikpeazu was on a mission where my organization had a developmental plan for all the southeastern governors. So went in there, handed it, had a copy that to say that they've acknowledged it and worked out. So that's it. So any other thing, I am not freaking interested. All we want, and I believe many of you watching me, is the same thing, that all we want is a better society. You know, if you guys give us a better society, I mean, what else do we demand? And actually, I mean, we are too cheap that we're not even demanding something serious. We're not demanding that you guys think out of the box that what you're supposed to be doing. The people are only asking for the basics. We have water boards that do not supply no single water. Even some states are trying to introduce borehole taxes, where I say, how on earth could you tax someone, something he's providing for himself or herself because of your failure? If you had, water where people pay monthly, treated water that they open up the tap runs, they shouldn't be doing boreholes on themselves, by themselves. But because of your inability and because of your failure to do these things, that's why they are doing it. They are doing it themselves. Yet, you have the infantry to begin to introduce tax anyway. So, and I think that was kind of Enugu State tried it, but the people rejected it, and soundly so. Anyone coming to collect any borehole tax, honestly, I will be surprised if the people leave that person to come out alive, because that is absolutely madness and absolutely nonsense. So you don't, when I say that people don't actually demand much, all they ask is give them good roads, give them good schools, and these are things that we already have the money for. Okay, I've been saying it that it comes to a point that we probably have to flip the coin. When you go to all these guys, when you go to a governor or deputy governor, you see their houses, you see their cars. They live in state-of-the-art houses. They drive the state-of-the-art cars. Some of the cars that the Western world wouldn't even drive. They are full. If we flip it to say, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't live in such houses. Let us make sure that every government institution, that means the government offices and the state infrastructures, are done with the state-of-art design and state-of-art, are maintained properly. So let's see if things are going to change. Now, to the issue in Aba, people in Aba, or rather the people working with the state government, with Okezie, so they denied the pictures, but suddenly Okezie today issued a statement now, and they said that that he's going to, with immediate effect, introduce environmental sanitation in Aba, effectively, immediately, in response to the, in his words of the statement said, this is in response to the increasing challenges of waste management, in some parts of the state. Then you ask yourself, oh, You're denying that Aba is not dirty, but suddenly, because of the campaigns that we've been carrying out, against the madness happening in Aba, suddenly he introduces that. But, trying to play smart, he doesn't say Aba. He said that is in Abia State effective immediately. But we already know the reason why he's doing it, because Umuahia is not that dirty, and there is no other city, in Abia State that is close to the madness happening in Aba. There is no better words to describe what is happening in Aba as, if not madness. That is the only suitable words that I think will not be offensive, but at least conveys the message that what is happening in Aba is total and utter madness. Now, the press release continues. It says that, the press release goes on to say that the governor will shortly sign an executive order to create autonomous waste management authorities in the following metropolitan local government areas in Abia State. Now, and those areas are Aba North, Aba South, Osisioma, Ngwa, Obingwa, Ugunabo, Umuahia South, and Umuahia North. I laugh again. And I say to, again, and this is a shout out to everyone that have helped in this campaign. I thank you all from my heart of heart. This is Martins, okay, once more, for standing with us, for standing, retweeting, posting it on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, shaming the government. My people, that means the revolution that we've been waiting for is here. Let us make the let us make this madness that they allow to happen in these areas. Let us use the pictures, snap the pictures, use your data for something better. Let us use it because it shows the campaigns are working. Okay? The one I'm doing on the airport, suddenly I had an answer from Chidoka saying, "Oh, Mazi, correction. I wasn't the Minister of Aviation when that contract was awarded at the Enugu airport." I said, "Okay, note taken." Now, but I'm not digressing, but I just need to, use that as an example to say the moment we are consistent and, putting up a lot of, efforts to make sure that we have a better society. If we leave this world today, I mean, our lives would have been useless if we leave it not better than we met it. We have to leave this world better than we met it. Infrastructure wise, morally wise, that the world has to be a better place rather than leave everything in ruins. And I think those before us haven't done a great job because they inherited everything that was working. When the British left, they had running waters, they had good roads, they had good education, but everything that we have now is in ruins. Now, so again, shout out to everyone that have helped in this campaign because it means we are winning, we are getting somewhere. The press release continues and they said that local waste managers shall be appointed immediately to superintendent over these waste management authorities in the specified local government areas and to be solely responsible for waste management in the local governments of their operations. Now, effectively today, meaning Friday, the 27th September, the governor shall, for 4 weeks, personally take over the coordinate the waste management activities in the entire state, in the entire Aba metropolis to restore sanity and discipline in the entire waste management system within the emergency period. People, isn't this a confirmation that they have now agreed that we were right all along? It would be right to actually now at this juncture and say that Mazezoke is demanding an apology from the Abia State government and all their ERATs, all their aides who were online insulting, saying that we were lying, that these things weren't Aba. And I make it and I have no apologies. Until these things are fixed, Aba remains a disgrace to the Igbo-Nation. This is not the way our forefathers lived. I don't see how men, women, adults shall be living like pigs. It is beneath human comprehension to say that we live in that manner. However, for the governor to have taken the lead to lead this means he has accepted that Abba is a human catastrophe. Okay? Abba is a human catastrophe where the government has failed and the people have failed themselves as well. The other state government has acquired, in their release that they've acquired heavy duty trucks and 3 additional refuse compactors, which will be deployed immediately to complement existing equipment in the war against refuse in Aba. Rather say in the war against refuse in it says in Abia, but I would rather say it is the war against refuse in Aba. Now, they continue that steps are also in place to manage the use of refuse dumps in Abia State. Now, again, I can't say this enough, and I have to say once more in conclusion, thanks for social media and those of us that kept speaking up. I'm not cowed. We are not going to be cowed. My brother, those of us that want better society, you and I, you watching this, we can do more. All you need to do is join the campaign. If you wish, you can follow me on my personal Twitter handle, where every single day we ask questions. How things are not governed right. When they get it right, sometimes they inbox me, say, Maz, we are doing this, why don't you broadcast it? And I say, this is only in Africa that someone is doing a job he is paid for, then he wants us to praise them. And why are you there? Why do you need praises? However, if during conversations, one can actually say, yes, these things, I am aware these things are happening, but not to praise you for doing the minimal. If you clean Abba, if you provide water in Abba, if you provide water in all the towns, villages in Abia State, of course, that is what the government ought to be doing. Yeah, we inherited these things and they were working. Suddenly, nothing no longer works. Now, we can no longer allow mediocres, to take over and run us down. There is a time to put an end to this madness happening. It is about today. Equally, Onitsha is not entirely different. Sometimes even new, unplanlessness everywhere. People building houses, erecting structures. Sometimes you stand and you look, Okada going right from left, Keke going left to right, and you think to yourself, why can't we as Africans, why can't we as Igbo actually plan? If we argue that we have a higher IQ of intellect, then that should reflect in the ways we run our society today. The serenity that we enjoyed during the time of our forefathers is fast eluding us. We need to begin to retrace our steps back to the way my forefathers, the wise ones I call Igbo, because they knew and they lived better. They were wise and they were wiser than we today. Once more, this is Mazes Okay. Just a quick update to say that we've won this battle. We are winning more battles. We are not going to relent until we liberate the Igbo-Nation from those that are holding us down. Our minds, mentally, we must liberate ourselves in order to get where we are going. Once more, this is Mazes Okay. Remain blessed.